there, my name is Luke Persiani, and this is my fantasy football advice channel. So today we're talking about the AFC South. First two teams on the agenda are the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Running backs, Lamar Miller. Surprisingly, people seem to be down on Lamar Miller this year. I have him at running back 10 for standard PPR rankings courtesy of ESPN, and I think he has potential to be a top 5 running back. I think he's in that second tier below the Le'Veon Bells and David Johnsons of the world. But I think for the price that he's going for, I think you could say he has just as good a year as Melvin Gordon or Devontae Freeman, and you'll get him for a significantly cheaper price than those running backs. People throw out Alfred Blue as a competitor for backfield touches, and I'm not worried about it. I think Lamar Miller's the guy over there, and he's going to have a bounce back year, along with DeAndre Hopkins. Last year, catastrophe. I know that. You know that. I think we can thank Brock Osweiler for that. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the most talented receivers in the game. A lot of targets come his way. I think luck happened to be against him last year. I think he's going to be catching a lot more of the passes that are better thrown to him, because let's face it, a lot of the incompletes were 10 yards outside of his wingspan. Braxton Miller might emerge as a sneaky PPR threat. CJ Fedorowicz is one of the most interesting tight ends in football. This guy is well liked over at Houston. I think he's going to be the clear-cut #1 guy this year, finally. Ryan Griffin stole a lot of his targets. They like to run a lot of 2 tight end sets for their heavy run game approach. But I think after seeing CJ Fedorowicz be one of the best catching tight ends in the league, he had one of the lowest drop rates in football last year, they're going to find a way to get him the ball more often. He's not a flashy name. No one is buying CJ Fedorowicz jerseys, but in my opinion, he's one of the most stable floor guys in the game, and he could emerge as a legit tight end 1 by the end of the year. But that covers the Texans. Let's go ahead and move on to the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck is being entirely overvalued. He's been banged up. He's banged up again this year coming into the season. If you're spending money on Andrew Luck, you're drafting wrong. Don't do it. Frank Gore, the most stable, oldest man in football, will continue to see close to 20 touches a game until his legs break. So I think he finds the end zone 10 times this year. He's sneakily one of the best pass-catching backs in the game. I mean, he saw 3 to 4 targets every game last year, and he reels most of them in. I like Frank Gore as a running back 2, low-end running back 2. He's one of the safest floors in the league, but has one of the lowest ceilings, so don't expect many 100-plus yard games out of Frank Gore. At the wide receiver position, everyone loves T.Y. Hilton. I don't know why. Something about him, I don't want him to be my #1 wideout. If I go heavy in and draft a top-tier wide receiver, I wouldn't mind pairing him with a T.Y. Hilton as my wide receiver 2. But if I'm spending wide receiver 1 money, I'm not going after T.Y. Hilton. I would much rather have Michael Thomas, who's being ranked below T.Y. Hilton, who has Drew Brees throwing him the ball, rather than a banged-up Andrew Luck, who may or may not miss a few games this season. So yeah, if I'm spending the money, I'd much rather have Michael Thomas, Des Bryant, Amari Cooper, Alshon Jeffrey, all of whom are being ranked lower than T.Y. Hilton. Dante Moncrief, I have projected to be a big breakout candidate this year as a sleeper pick. He's currently going below wide receiver 3 prices, and he has the potential to be a wide receiver 2 if they can learn how to use him right. They seem to love throwing him the ball in the end zone. I just would love to see him get the ball more consistently and become kind of a Jarvis Landry for the team as the season progresses. But I think the biggest sleeper, and it's no secret, on the Indianapolis Colts is Jack Doyle. I mean, right now he's projected as the tight end 10 to tight end 12 range, and he has legit tight end 5 upside. So I think he's a starting tight end for just about any fantasy football team. Sign me up for some Doyle. All right, that covers the first half of the AFC South. Next time, I'll be tackling the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. My name's Luke Persiani. So excited for football season.